Good morning, everyone. So wishing you were here, but it seems as though we have 2 more weeks of lockdown plus safety concerns in general anyway. So we have to make the best of what we can. And it's actually been a joy connecting with everyone through classes and WhatsApp anyway. So let's keep it up. And today we're going to continue with our celebration of Swamiji. And today's theme is his music. And I wish we had hours and hours and hours of time to share everything, but we don't. So we thought we would just share a few ones. It's hard to say that any one song is more important than another, so we won't. But we always have favorites and that kind of a thing. We thought we would do some that we don't sing very often here at the center. And so that's why we've chosen the ones we've chosen. Of course, they're all very deep and beautiful. And so as we sing these songs, we'll play them through once, and then so that if you're unfamiliar with the song, you can hear it. And we'll be posting the words, so you can read the words along with the songs. And then we'll be singing along the second time. Of course, if you know the song, you can sing along the first time and the second time. But if you don't know the song, you'll at least hear it once through. One of the things we do have that's very nice is Swamiji wrote a book called A Tale of Songs. And in this book, he gives a background for many of the songs that he wrote. And so I'm going to read some of it, and Dharmarajan will read some before we begin singing. When the divine will removed me from my guru's organization, I was anxious not in any way to rival the work they were doing. I had devoted my life to serving my guru's mission. If I could not serve him within his organization, I could only serve him outside of it. I wanted whatever I did, however, to be in a spirit of harmony and brotherhood. Thus, I cast about for new ways of expressing his teachings. In 1964, 2 years after that separation, I spent a week vacationing in Yosemite Park, California. On my last day there, I saw 2 teenage boys sitting on the wooden rail of a bridge, singing to the accompaniment of a guitar. I felt in a mood to sing and went over to join them. I should add here that singing has always been my pastime. As a youth, wherever I happened to be, I would walk singing through the streets, heedless of anyone around me. In high school, our choir director often said to me, "There's money in your voice." Money, I must say, held no attraction for me. At 18, I studied with a voice teacher who taught me how to place my voice so that I had no difficulty in even singing very loudly. Today, at 86, when this was written, my voice sounds as free from strain as it did when I was in my 20s. My voice teacher assumed that I would make singing my career. What I myself was seeking, however, was the meaning of life. Why are we here on earth? How can we make the best use of our sojourn on this planet? I simply could not imagine my life, wasting my life, in expressing ideas with which I felt no sympathy at all. One of the classical songs I learned from my teacher was called O se sante piegarmi, I don't know how to say this, piegarmi, o lasciatemi morir, which in Italian means, "Oh, stop plaguing me and let me die." What a foolish sentiment. When it came to singing something those boys at Yosemite could relate to, I was at a loss. People in India who loved to hear me sing Bengali bhajans, but these didn't seem quite the fare to give to American schoolboys. What was I to do? Finally, I hit on the well-known spiritual song, "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Comin' for to Carry Me Home." They loved it, Please, they both pleaded, won't you come sing for a party we're attending this evening? Well, my time was free, so I agreed. Again, I sang, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Everyone pleaded with me to sing more, but my repertoire wasn't up to the occasion. I demurred. As I drove home the next day, however, the thought came to me, wouldn't it be wonderful to tour the country spreading meaningful truths through songs? But then came the inevitable thought, what songs were there to sing? The message of virtually every popular song is, I love you, you love me, or else, I love you, you've left me, you've done me wrong. What kind of messages are those? It looked like an impasse. Suddenly then, the thought came to me, maybe I could write my own songs. They could have a message that to me would be truly meaningful. All my life, melodies had drifted through my mind. Perhaps then? Just then, a song appeared full-blown in my mind, both melody and lyrics. It was beautiful. I stopped on my way to a milkshake stand and wrote the song out on a paper napkin. I understood music notation from years of having played the piano, so for me this was no problem. When I reached my parents' home, where I was living at the time, I found that my brother Dick had left his Martin guitar there. It was in excellent condition. All I needed now was to learn how to play it. I bought Pete Seeger's Guitar Singer's Guide, and from that book taught myself to play. More songs began coming to me. Why? I've passed my life as a stranger, Lord. Brothers, Go On Alone. These 5, including the one that had first come to me, were the first, and they came, I believe, in that sequence. I hadn't been singing these songs 3 weeks when the secretary from the Unitarian Church heard me singing them and asked me if I wouldn't like to give a concert at their church. I agreed. She scheduled the concert for 1 week from that day. It forced me now to practice the guitar almost nonstop for that whole week. By the time of the day of the concert, I had been playing the practicing in all for just 4 weeks. The afternoon before the concert, I was strolling through Golden Gate Park of San Francisco, enjoying its beauty and praying for help. All at once, 2 more songs came to my mind. If You're Seeking Freedom and What is Love? The second came because I'd heard that many Unitarians are atheists. I thought, surely they all know the feeling of love, of joy. How then can they truly be atheists? I decided to include these 2 new songs in the program that evening. When the dreaded event arrived, one of those times in life when you wish death would claim you first, I found a packed hall, 200 people. The secretary, to create a reflective mood, had turned off all the lights. 1 candle was left burning on the mantelpiece behind me. If there was one thing I desperately needed, it was to be able to see those guitar strings. But I was denied even this relief. Well, somehow I stumbled through the program, adding a few stories and bhajans to thicken the mix. Inexplicably, my listeners loved everything. On the way out, a young man said to me, I'm a music major at Cal State, and I must say there were some interesting chords in some of those songs you sang this evening. Thank you for calling them interesting, I responded. You have a generous nature. Then even launched what friends might be generous enough to call my musical career.
Thereafter, I always sang 1 or 2 songs before giving a lecture. All the songs expressed a message I wanted to convey, and many of them therefore made a good introduction to my subject. I went on to write more songs, presenting worthwhile teachings in a poetic and interesting way. Someone once tried to figure out what I was going through emotionally when I wrote this song or that. The truth is, all my songs have come from spiritual, not from emotional experience. They didn't reflect any trauma I was undergoing at the time. Rather, they described attitudes all men would be happier for developing in themselves. Most people confuse spiritual with either moral or theological teaching. If they write songs, the songs become hymns, preachy, often dismally lacking in feeling. I, however, who have been seeking God now for over 60 years, have learned that the essence of the spiritual path is feeling. Spirituality is not dryly occult or intellectual. It stems from deep love and heartfelt longing for God. My own deep longing for Him and my desire to help my fellow beings, these are what I wanted to express in my music. No two of my songs are the same. Each of them is in some way unique. But I must say also that they reveal who I am as a human being, for I have been the filter for them. Though they came from divine inspiration, they were nevertheless what I had to express. God, as I have often said, has a different melody to sing or play through each one of us. Each has his own unique melody to sing. For some time I sang my songs alone, to the accompaniment of my Martin guitar. As I developed the first Ananda community, however, near Nevada City, California, wanting to get others into the act, I wrote harmonies for the songs so that we could sing them in chorus. Gradually I learned, while writing harmonies, to give the different voice parts counter melodies of their own. From then on, wishing to give others a chance to sing them, I rarely performed the music myself, and I found that people's lives, by singing them, were transformed. In all, I think I have written some 420 musical pieces, songs, chorals, instrumentals, and piano. All of them have come to me so effortlessly that I do not really consider myself to be their author. They were given to me from a higher source. He puts in quotes, "My oratorio may deserve a special word. The inspiration to write it came to me while I was taking a pilgrimage to the Holy Land, Israel, in the month of September, I think it was, in 1982. In December of that year in Italy, I wrote the melodies. The next month I wrote the harmonies and the words. In February, our choir gave the first performance of it in a church in Sacramento, California. A lady, unfamiliar with Ananda, came up to me afterward and actually genuflected, so moved had she been by the music. I'd like to add here a final word. I have touched on this thought before, but I think it bears repetition. As far as I know, for everyone who has sung my music, it has been life-transforming. I therefore urge you, sing these songs. You will become happier, more harmonious, better self-integrated person by singing them. The same has also proved true for persons who play the instrumental pieces. They are not mine, they came from God. And so, as Dharmini said, we will be singing these songs, and we chose songs that are not as commonly done here. And so you'll have them in the song sheet. And also, so again, what we'll do is, we decided, or what we'll try to do is, we'll just listen to the songs. If we feel to comment, we will. But also it's nice to be able to get into a flow of music and try to get into the general feeling. We've already spent time on the oratorio that he mentioned. And the first song we'll sing is... Hello There, Brother Bluebell. Hello There, Brother Bluebell. And whenever possible, in fact, all of these cases, almost all, we have recordings of Swamiji himself singing his songs.
This too is a sort of children's song. Hello there, Brother Bluebell, play me a tune today. The breezes on the meadow have made you look so gay. The meadow larks are singing, joys in the air. Come set your bells a-ring, you've gladness to share. Hello there, sister dewdrop, linger a little while. Your colors in the sunlight would make a monarch smile. What need have I for treasures, diamonds or gold? The sweetest of all pleasures are here to behold. Hello there, dearest kinsmen, pebbles and laughing brooks, you timid little beetles that hide in private nooks. God made us of his gladness, come then and sing, to cure the world of sadness. Oh, ring, bluebell, ring. This too is a sort of children's song. Hello there, brother Bluebell, play me a tune today. The breezes on the meadow have made you look so gay. The meadow larks are singing, joys in the air. Come set your bells a-ringing, you've gladness to share. Hello there, sister dewdrop, linger a little while. Your colors in the sunlight would make a monarch smile. What need have I for treasures, diamonds or gold? The sweetest of all pleasures are here to behold. Hello there, dearest kinsmen, pebbles and laughing brooks, you timid little beetles that hide in private nooks. God made us of his gladness, come then and sing, to cure the world of sadness. Oh, ring, bluebell, ring.
The next song is If You're Seeking Freedom.
If you're seeking freedom in a revolution, oh, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For once the guns stop blazing, you'll find it amazing how the world can drag on just as before. If you're seeking freedom in a marble mansion, oh, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For even when it's sunny, you'll be counting money, keeping up that showcase, your face lined with care. And if you're seeking freedom on a throne of power, oh, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For though men all obey you, what if they betray you? Tense you'll be and waiting for foes everywhere. But if you're seeking freedom, cast away desires. Why barter like a beggar? You've wealth everywhere. For never can you buy it, grasp and you deny it. Freedom can't be hoarded, it's free as the air. And if you're seeking freedom, seek it on the mountains. God's sunlight on your shoulders, the wind in your hair. For there's no one can hold you, boss about or mold you. Once your heart is free, you'll be king everywhere. Seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For once the guns stop blazing, you'll find it amazing how the world can drag on just as before. If you're seeking freedom in a marble mansion, no, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For even when it's sunny, you'll be counting money, keeping up that showcase, your face lined with care. And if you're seeking freedom on a throne of power, oh, if you're seeking freedom, you won't find it there. For though men all obey you, what if they betray you? Tense you'll be and waiting for foes everywhere. But if you're seeking freedom, cast away desires. Why barter like a beggar? You've wealth everywhere. For never can you buy it, grasp and you deny it. Freedom can't be hoarded, it's free as the air. And if you're seeking freedom, seek it on the mountains. God's sunlight on your shoulders, the wind in your hair. For there's no one can hold you, boss about or mold you. Once your heart is free, you'll be king everywhere.
Okay, so that, as Swamiji had mentioned in the thing that Dharmini read, that was his 6th or 7th song. And for this next song, Come Gather Round, we have a treat. We have a video of Swamiji playing this song and singing it from the 1980s. It's perhaps the only video we know of that has Swamiji playing his guitar alone and singing. So we'll watch that once through and then sing it along with Swamiji.
Come gather round, we'll sing the blues away. Dawn now is breaking, and the mountains say it's only light can make the darkness run. Lift up your head, greet the rising sun. Greet the rising sun. Some people think to harvest happiness by weeding troubles, easing every stress. The trouble is that troubles never end. Get rid of one and you face its friend. And you face its friend. It's in your heart the songs of joy resound. you'll hear about echoes in the world around. Wind on a hill sounds lonely if you're sad, free if you're free, cheerful if you're glad, cheerful if you're glad. Friends, come with me, we'll chant of battles won, shots not of anger, joy will be our gun. Before the light, the veils of sorrow rend in ecstasy. All delusions end. All delusions end. Gather round, we'll sing the blues away. Dawn now is breaking, and the mountains say, it's only light can make the darkness run. Lift up your head, greet the rising sun. Greet the rising sun. Some people think to harvest happiness by weeding troubles, easing every stress. The trouble is that troubles never end. Get rid of one and you face its friend. And you face its friend. It's in your heart, the songs of joy resound. You'll hear about echoes in the world around. Wind on a hill sounds lonely if you're sad, free if you're free, cheerful if you're glad, cheerful if you're glad. Friends, come with me, we'll chant of battles won, shots not of anger, joy will be our gun. Before the light, the veils of sorrow rend in ecstasy. All delusions end. All delusions end.
I wanted to mention that you'll notice if you're following along with the words that are posted on WhatsApp, you'll see a PDF there. You'll notice some of the words are a little different, and that's because we're using some older recordings of Swamiji singing, as you heard us read in the notes that we read ahead of these songs. Swamiji said he was singing these songs a lot in the beginning, but then he saw how much they changed people and their lives in such a dramatic way that he decided to not sing as often and allow other people to sing. So then in the later years, there's lots and lots of recordings of different groups singing all of these songs. And Swamiji has changed some of the words over the years. As he would rethink a song, he'd feel inspired to change a word here and there. So that was something he would do periodically. And I was part of a singing group for many, many years before coming to Chennai. And of course, now we have our own singing group here, which is wonderful. But in the singing groups, whenever he changed a word, we would all work on learning the new words and singing the songs that way from that day onward. So I just wanted to say that comment. This next song is called Why, and it's a little bit more inward, and we don't do this song very often, but it's a very nice one to listen to and sing with as well.
There lived a tender maid in a far-off country. The strangeness of this world made her sigh. Her friends asked their fathers for money and clothes, but all she could ask was, why? She saw the solemn clouds gathered watching a rainbow. The bright rays of their joy filled the sky. Her teachers explained it all wisely away, but still her heart wondered why. She saw the silent stars thrill the night with their gladness. They seemed some wondrous truth to imply. Her elders all slept, but the magic of light would wake her to ponder why. She saw a mother smile as she tended her baby, a widow weep that love had to die. The joy of new friends and the sadness of parting, all these made her ask God, why? One night into her heart stole the secret of oneness, the bond not even time can untie. For love there possessed her and made her his own. In love she at last learned why. There lived a tender maid in a far-off country. The strangeness of this world made her sigh. Her friends asked their fathers for money and clothes, but all she could ask was, why? She saw the solemn clouds gathered watching a rainbow. The bright rays of their joy filled the sky. Her teachers explained it all wisely away, but still her heart wondered why. She saw the silent stars thrill the night with their gladness. They seemed some wondrous truth to imply. Her elders all slept, but the magic of light would wake her to ponder why. She saw a mother smile as she tended her baby, a widow weep that love had to die. The joy of new friends and the sadness of parting, all these made her ask God why. One night into her heart stole the secret of oneness, the bond not even time can untie. For love there possessed her and made her his own. In love she at last learned why.
So just to clarify this, so it was Life Mantra when Swamiji wrote it, then a group of singers were recording it, and then they were resting in between recordings, and suddenly they heard a voice out of the ether singing a refrain from the song, life is a mission from on high, life is a quest for inner joy. And out of all the singers, 3 of them heard it, but many of them didn't hear it. And they were so moved by it, and Swamiji, inspired by that, decided to change the name to Chant of the Angels, and then along with other people's encouragement, as it says, he was talked into changing the name. And then later, after many years, he said he'd prefer to go with the original name he gave it, Life Mantra.
Given the words, God is life, God is love, it's definitely a life mantra. But I have to say, I also heard the angels singing. Whenever we would practice this in our group, for some reason, we could hear angels singing. And I had never really heard angels sing before, I don't think. And it wasn't a visible thing. It was something we all heard inside, but we could hear. After we would sing the song, it didn't sound like we were hearing ourselves singing the song afterwards. It really felt like the angels were singing with it. I don't understand why, but that was our experience. And through the years, we would hear that. I would recommend you sing this at home over and over again. It's a very long song. How many minutes? It's 11 minutes, which is much longer than most of Swamiji's songs. And but it's definitely worth hanging in there. We'll just sing it through once because it repeats so many times. But it's a very beautiful song. And this is sung by a choir as opposed to Swami singing it as a solo. Okay.
This next song is Love is a Magician.
Oh, okay.
And so, Swamiji, after Swamiji, the song came to him while he was asleep. Whether it came in a dream or a vision, I don't know, but he woke up and spent the next 2 hours writing it out, and he would get the melodies first and then write words to it. And he said of this song that when I sing this song, I'm with Divine Mother, and when I'm with Divine Mother, I don't care about anything else. So we'll listen to it once and then sing it through.
Love is all I know, sun rays on the snow of a winter long, in darkness without song. Oh, my heart's a fire, burning all desire. Only you remain, and life again. Too long I did stray, flung lifetimes away, imagined you did not care. I know now your smile was mine all the while. I listened and love was there. I can't breathe for love, all the stars above call to me, come home. Life's waves all end in foam, only love can heal all the pain I feel. What a fool was I to turn away. Love is all I know, sun rays on the snow of a winter long, in darkness without song. Oh, my heart's a fire, burning all desire. Only you remain, and life again. Too long I did stray, flung lifetimes away, imagined you did not care. I know now your smile was mine all the while. I listened and love was there. I can't breathe for love, all the stars above call to me, come home. Life's waves all end in foam, only love can heal all the pain I feel. What a fool was I to turn away.